It's very early Sunday morning. It's 1:37 a.m. on the East Coast. Let's get this video out of the way and emailed. So this is a snapshot. I don't even have the Excel file open because it's too late for a computer, folks. So let's go over the games and talk about anything of note here and what teams that the algorithm says pretty confidently you should take. Well, I was in Green Bay a few days ago, and that town feels like they're going to annihilate the Bears. Of course, they are minus 435. So even though they got to cover the 10 points, that's what they got to do there. That does kind of suck, but that's what they're going to try to do. So that is the number one pick, but the line is bad. So if we're just talking about winners, you can see that there's big margins of victory for Green Bay. Just, 30-point margin of victory, things. 12 points for the Bills over the Titans, just coming off a loss to the Giants, what the Titans had. So Buffalo looked incredibly strong. So there's another big old minus 450 line. I'm going to skip over the Saints for a second, talk about the Rams. Atlanta, poor team, blows game to the Saints last week. Rams also did not win in the opening game of the season had against Buffalo, right? Got run over, but the Rams are probably a better team. Buffalo's just extremely good. So even another 450. Look at me, just Rams, Bills, Packers, terrible lines. Browns, I was just in Cleveland. They're minus 260, not minus 210. Like I said in the video, thinks they barely cover, but you really just want them to win. Although we do never, ever bet the Jets. So I'm scared to take that -7 with the Browns. It just feels like a game where they win by 3 or 4 points and they don't cover 6.5. So it seems like a game you take the money line there. You got to watch out taking teams laying a lot of points. Denver laying 10 points against Houston. I'm astonished at that line. I mean, Houston just tied Indianapolis. They're not as bad, but the algorithm does not agree with me. Algorithm says Denver wins this game at home. Something about Denver playing at home. So, I mean, just talk about a host of unplayable lines at the top for this early in the season. It's kind of crazy. All right, now let's look at these other two underdogs. So you've got the Saints at home against the Bucks. The win score percentage is minus 15%, which means, isn't it funny how the win score percentage mirrors what the lines are? It's amazing. Even though the point projections don't. So this is where the algorithm says there is value. Look at that 10-point victory for the Saints. I mean, if you believe anything about the algorithm here, the only reason the algorithm might be having some issues is I think it screws up. What is it? The Storm and Mormon. Well, the QB who also plays tight end now. I don't know if he's also playing QB. I think if he's still with the Saints, then that sometimes causes some distortion issues in their roster. But still, I know it's because of Brady. I mean, people, Brady is just always somebody who supports winning, and he's a good guy to bet on. So that's why that is there. So I kind of understand it. So if you trust the algorithm over the odds makers there, you do take the Saints plus 2.5. I mean, it's almost no different than plus 1 or 2. It's just if it's not a field goal, I feel like it's better just take them to win. Either they're going to win or they're not going to win. But they only won by a point last week, so it's a tougher game. I understand why that's an underdog showing up there, but whatever. Trust the algorithm. Okay, Commanders over the Lions, plus 102. Even though this game's in Detroit. I almost went to Detroit today, but I didn't. Says that they win by 6 points, and you could get a point with them. Plus 102 and plus 105 or plus 102. Both of those are okay, according to the algorithm, because there's a 6-point margin of victory. Colts, 21-16. Colts supposed to win by 5 over the Jaguars. Yeah. It's minus 150. Then a minus 405 all the way down there with the 49ers at home against the Seahawks. That seems insane. 49ers just blew a game to the Bears. Seahawks did win in Denver. This game's in San Francisco. It does say that they win. The algorithm's point projections wise says they win 22-17, but not by 9 points. So at least the algorithm says take Seattle +9. That's something I'm gonna do. Because to see that -405 all the way down there is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth pick of the day is a -405. How do you not take Seattle plus the points? That's what the algorithm is saying to do there. So that's got to be on the list. As much as I don't like to go against a team, that they're just because they are that far down on the list. It's very symbolic of Seattle covering the 9 points there. Dallas. Why on earth is Dallas favored against the Bengals? Who is playing quarterback? Isn't Dak hurt? I have to look at that in the Excel file. I assumed Dallas's roster is just worthless. I cannot believe the algorithm is favoring them. It also did a little weird thing where it was also kind of making a toss-up game against Tampa Bay last week. So I don't know why the algorithm appears to be misreading Dallas slightly. It's probably because of last year's stats, but Dallas looks like a team in complete disarray with the Dak Prescott surgery information or situation happening. I think I haven't really looked into it, but I saw some passing headlines. I don't think he's playing. I don't understand how it's favoring the Cowboys in this game. I just don't get it. I do not understand what is happening there. I'll dig in and I'll give people an answer there. I cannot believe it's favoring the Cowboys. Chiefs over the Chargers. That already happened on Thursday night. That was a pretty good prediction. Also, Arizona beats the Raiders in Vegas by a field goal, and they're +200, and you can get 5.5 points with them. So I'm going back to the well and saying take Arizona plus the points. Vegas was not very impressive against the Chargers last week. That Arizona just was so bad against Kansas City. I guess that's why you're getting this +200. Like it says Arizona. What did we lose? It says Arizona wins that game. So there's some points with Seattle you can take. There's some points with Arizona. There's Ravens at -189 favored by a field goal, but we know that Miami is better than last year, and we're still using some of last year's team stats in judging Miami. So I'm very, very concerned about that game. And it does say that +3.5 Miami covers there. It's like 3-point variance. So I think Miami +3.5, even though that game's in Baltimore, seems like the better pick based on week 1. And Philadelphia and the Vikings, 3-point victory for Philadelphia. And 49 points in the over. Wow, look at the over-under. Some of them are very, very close to the projected scores of games. It's pretty crazy. Wow. So you're getting way down on the list here. So your Patriots, Patriots are favored against the Steelers after that awful performance against Miami. 15-13 score. Oh my God. Look at that. So that is notice the total projected score of 28 points for that Steelers-Patriots game, and the over-under set at 40. I don't think I've seen a 28 projected point score game in a while. We have a factor of 6. It's just saying that the Patriots offense is not there yet. It still gives them the win in this game. Amazing. Boy, the odds makers are really using this algorithm right now, aren't they? Look at what's going on. I mean, look at the spreads compared to the point projections. It's amazing. Carolina, 1-point favorite should win by a point over the Giants. You can get them +2. All right. So we just went over all the games. What do you do? Well, okay. Your parlay, if you're going to do just a parlay with all the teams that are just flat out supposed to win, it's Green Bay, Buffalo. I'm scared of the Rams at -450, honestly. But Green Bay, Buffalo, Cleveland are 3 big ones that are supposed to win. Okay. So that's a 3-team parlay that probably doubles your money. I think a minus 450, minus 450, and a minus 260, yeah, probably about doubles your money. But those are really, really solid win picks. Okay, so those are the 3 to win. Then you start looking at, if you're saying, all right, straight bet on New Orleans to win, straight bet on the Commanders to win. If you get one of those 2 games, you'll be up money. All right, and algorithm says both of them win, so there's that. I'm scared of Denver because I think that minus 460 is too far down there, and it says Houston plus 10 points. I mean, I'm tempted to take Houston plus 10 points, Seattle plus 9 points, Arizona plus 5.5. I'm not touching that Dallas Cincinnati game. I don't like that at all, which means Dallas probably wins. I would take the Dolphins plus 3.5 and the under in the Patriots Steelers game because it's just saying there's not going to be no points in that game. I won't take an alternate under because the over under set at 40, but okay, I take under 40.5 then. And I think that's about it. So, in summary, Green Bay, Buffalo, Cleveland to win. Smaller straight bets on Saints to win, Commanders to win. Seahawks plus 9. Dolphins plus 3.5. Arizona plus 5.5. Houston plus 10 maybe. I don't know, but the Houston plus 10, that probably stay away from that, actually. All right, guys. That's the update. This goes live to everybody at around 1 p.m. on the East Coast, if I'm awake. And hopefully I will be awake. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning. And I mean, this is a 16-game day. This is looking like just off of my history of how these things usually go. I mean, there's certainly qualms about this Dallas game, and I just don't understand what is happening there. You can see that you expect the Patriots, Eagles, Carolina, and all the way up to Arizona, all being toss-up games down there. So you're probably going to go 3-2 or 2-3 down there. So you want to be taking teams with the points, like Arizona, like Miami, and the other ones just kind of staying away from. But like I said, that under the Patriots game. Then you start going up the list, and you can see that the Niners line's too bad, and so it makes you want to take Seattle. Indianapolis and Jacksonville, I haven't really touched on that game much. Says Indianapolis covers. I'm not a huge fan of Indianapolis. At least that game's in Jacksonville. But Indianapolis probably wins that game. Not a bad line at minus 150. You can see the difference in the line between Indianapolis and San Francisco. It's a no-brainer. If you had to take one of those teams to win, you'd take Indianapolis because they're only at minus 150. And they're higher on the list here. Commanders, go Commanders. That game's in Detroit, though. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm going to do my crazy stuff where I probably take Houston plus 10. I might take Green Bay minus the 9.5 because they are either they're going to crush it or they're not. And I think they're going to try to score points based on all the people in Green Bay that I talked to a few days ago. Buffalo probably crushes it too somehow. I mean, I'm really concerned with Tennessee blowing that game to the Giants. That it's opening, it's scary there. Although it's 10 points, it's a lot of points. But Buffalo's playing well. All right, guys, I gotta go. It's bedtime. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning.